Hello and welcome. The grips on my 1200 GS are buggered, as you can see. So I wanted to try and replace them by, I don't know, aftermarket grips, preferably, because I don't like these BMW grips anyway. They're not grippy enough. Trouble is, these are heated grips, and I've watched numerous videos on YouTube trying to find out how to change the rubber on heated grips for BMW 1200 GS, and there are many different videos showing different type of heating elements. So I just thought I should take the opportunity to show you what this looks like. This is for a 1200 GS 2004 model, so it's the first 1200 GS model year, and I believe it is the exact same model. All the components should be exactly the same between 2004 and 2007 at least. It might be that you have the same components on later models, but I don't know. But I'm pretty certain that 2004 to 2007 is the exact same. So anyway, the videos I've found online show that you have like a heating element, which is it looks sort of like a circuit board, but it's very, very, very thin. That's not the case on this model. What you have instead is something looking like this. Let me see if I can pry off some of the rubber even further. So here we go. This is what it looks like when I've kind of got some more of the rubber off. I've been in touch with BMW. I'm actually outside of their BMW dealership right now, and I went inside because I had expected to see one of these kind of circuit board looking heating elements here, because that's what seemed to be the more modern way of going about with heated grips. As I couldn't find them, I just went to the dealership and asked them if they can tell me. And what they said was that we don't sell these. We don't sell rubbers separately, grips separately. You have to buy the whole thing, like with this white, the whole assembly, and that's 200 euros for the grip on the right hand side with the throttle cable, and it was something like, I think, 170 euros for the other side. So, I mean, come on, man, that's just a fucking robbery. So then I asked them, okay, but do you know what it looks like? Can I just pry this off? You know what they told me? They said that the heating element was molded into the rubber itself. So they told me you cannot get the rubber off without destroying the heat element. So obviously that was also a lot of crap. I don't think they intentionally tried to fool me into buying new grips for like a fortune, but the simple fact is that they don't know. They hadn't got a clue. So in the store I started to pulling these off just using my fingers, and he was like, ah, yeah, so that's what it looked like. That is what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So, but anyway, you have to be super duper careful. I would suggest you start by finding this little black plastic thing. From there, be advised that the black plastic keeps going down here. So that's the start of the electrical cables. So if you go just beside that black thing and start with a small screwdriver, just carefully pry it off like this. And since I did that, I tried to just use my fingers just to pull on this. You could use a heat gun also, but it will be glued on some places, like for instance here, where the actual, this is probably the stuff that goes hot. You can see it's really thin. It's like a hair almost. But you can also see probably that this really thin thing is going into a groove in the white plastic. So I'm going to just continue to try and pull this off really carefully using my small screwdriver as well where needed, but I'm not going to try and cut through the rubber because I don't really know what it looks like at the end, if there might be a connection inside the rubber here. So I'm just going to try and pull this off and yeah, continue from there. So there we go. Now I got the whole thing off. Turned out at the end I had to cut this one open anyway, because there was no glue all this way. It was only glued like in this end on a few places, but at this end it was glued like all the way around. So I couldn't get it off without cutting this one open. Obviously you need to be super careful when you do that, but let me just show you how this heat coil works. So it goes from here and then goes down here at the end where the whole thing kind of loops together. I don't know if you can see it. Goes from there and then like in a loop and then back, all the way back. But also, as you can see, this loop thing only starts around 10 millimeters in on the handle from the end of the handle. So that is something that you can keep in mind when you use your blade, and obviously use a new blade and be very careful. So now I'm just gonna clean this up using the blade. I'm probably gonna use some brake cleaner as well. All they had at the BMW dealership was some Oxford aftermarket grips. They didn't have anything else. I would have preferred some more aggressive, maybe like enduro style grips, but these were really cheap, and I want to be able now to switch these whenever I want to. So I'm not going to glue this onto this one. I'm probably just going to use a brake clean as lubrication to get it on, and then maybe apply a little bit of glue at this end and maybe at this end as well. So yeah, so I'm going to do the left hand side now, and just want to take a short moment to show you also what you need to do in order to take the whole thing off from the bike. The right hand side, which I did previously, is obviously a bit more complicated because you have the gas wire, so that's another thing. It sits here. So, but I forgot to film both when I took it off and when I put it back on, so I'm going to try and show this on the left hand side instead. So, but anyway, this went quite smoothly and I like the result. It's good. So, but taking these off and putting them back on is more or less the same on both sides. So what you have is something looking like that. This thing is held in place by two screws, a top one and a bottom one. Once that is off, you also have two other screws on this side. This is only the case, these two screws that I'm going to show you is only here on the left hand side grip. So it's one at the top going straight into like the actual steering, what's it called? Not steering wheel. I forgot the name. Anyway, there's one there, and there's also one underneath that you need to take out. Once you have taken those out, you can start to move this. Then you need to detach these two electrical wires. Obviously I've taken off the what is it, it's the clutch handle, and also my bark busters I just moved away. So you have two of these electrical things. The big one is for the controls of I suppose all the electrical stuff, the indicators and all that, all the rest of it. The small one is for the heated grip element that goes in here. So to take these off, there is one like the normal sort of locking mechanism. As you can see, there's like a thing here with a small hole in it. You have to pull this lip down, pull this down to be able to get this out. There is also some silicone things here. I'm going to use some silicone spray on when I reattach them later. So you undo both of these, and then you can take off the whole handle if you want to. But since I'm going to try and film this and show you, I'm just going to keep it on here for now. So this one, there was no glue at all, as opposed to on the right hand side. But there was, let me see, there was another thing. This kind of small plastic profile which held the rubber in place, because the rubber was kind of, wasn't holes here that fitted onto these, I don't know if you call it a stud, so that kept it in place. But there is absolutely no glue whatsoever here. It also looks a bit different. On the right hand side it was white, all this was white, because that was on the like exhaust, well, the exhaust side. So this is black. You still need to be very careful, of course, but yeah, I'm gonna show you some more once I've got all of this off. Well, by the way, now since I have a pretty good idea of what this coil looks like at the end here, I learned that from the other handle. I know that there's a kind of a loop. This one's, they go in a loop here, so I don't have to be as careful as I was yesterday. So I kind of just cut this open with like a yeah, scissors, or I don't know. So I cut the over this top side off, and that way I don't risk damaging the coil. If I were to do this, I would probably risk damaging the coil. So yeah, I'm going to continue. So now I'm almost done, and as you can see here is the loop, which I tried to show yesterday or previously in the video as well. But on this side it's much more easy to see because there's no glue here. You see, there's like the loop. So it's at least 10 millimeters in from the end. Since this will be a really tight fit to get this one on, and I don't want to risk damaging the heating element, I will use just some normal household transparent tape just over the coil itself before I try to put the new rubber on. There we go. I only covered the coil itself, so I still have some, I don't know, 6-7 millimeters here at the end, and the same thing here, where I could put some glue on once the rubber has been fitted onto this. So the left hand side grip was really difficult to get on, much more so than on the right hand side, and I do mean like proper difficult, as you could probably tell from the state of my hand at the moment after trying to get this on. But there is a trick to it. What you need to do is you can separate the grip from the whole control unit. You do that by, remember these two, these are the electrical connections. Under the big one there is a screw in the top hand corner, and there is also one small screw here. Undo those two and you can separate the grip from the electrical control unit. And this made it much easier to get the grip on. At the end I had to use some silicone spray, but it really doesn't matter because this was so tight. So I won't ever need any glue to make it stick. So that's done and done. Now both grips are on the bike. It took me a minute or two, but at least I saved myself around 370 euros. So yeah, whatever the dealership tells you, take it with a pinch of salt. And if this video was helpful for you, if you are intending to do the same, if your grips are also buggered, please give me a thumbs up so I know if it's been helpful or not. Thanks for watching.